Within our daily lives, how often can we be persuaded by the media? How may that work, and can it be beneficial? Diving in, not only can we be persuaded, influenced by those in the media due to our subconscious mind, we are also prone to believing in certain words and actions by those who present themselves. And those who present themselves may be media influencers, but also the presence in general, which can be shown in articles, videos, and other social platforms. So through this fact, sometimes we find beneficial outcomes that shape us into better individuals, but in other cases, it might completely backtrack how we think and act. In today's discussion, I'd like to elaborate three general points to why this may be a root cause on how we act and think, and then who and what can media content influence. First, we'll be discussing why it matters and how it works. To get an algorithm, there are methods used for getting quantity of users and what they consume. With that said, it is also controlled by what you interact with. It is important to keep account and be responsible with what is displayed to you because it can be seen by others. In other words, that makes the media tricky in general since the interactions often push certain contents which can either be positive or negative. With the way the media work, the presence of influential individuals add another dynamic to it as they often become the general reason why society can get controlled by content. Moving on, we will get into the cognitive and behavioral aspects of the media to younger generations. According to an article provided by the New York Times, it explains how news articles in the youth generations have a tie. It mentions how the main source of information comes from social media. Since social media is the main source of information for younger generations, it is how they become aware of the noise in our chaotic society. With the influence of media on the younger generation, their ability to be aware of difficulties helps them navigate through information that may be true or not. Alongside the awareness they have, since younger generations rely on social media or the media in general, they can identify the habit being a societal issue. As we navigate through platforms, it is also important to acknowledge that we have full access to the media from our pockets at all times nowadays. This also counts as accountability so we can watch how much we consume in a day. Going back to how we navigate through platforms, one teen mentioned how years back did we get latest news by mouth and newspaper. The teen also mentioned how older generations who lived through that time cannot comprehend how we are able to get access to information and how we process it. Last but not least, we will be looking into the aspects of media that can be beneficial. So as a result, consuming and partaking in the media can help you build self-esteem, understanding, and connections on what you choose. Some benefits also include opportunities that rise when you come across online flyers and things such as that. However, that may be a risk since the media isn't always a safe place. Many dangers, consequences follow up with the pros. As more risks come into play with the excessive use of media, it can also cause you health issues, which include addiction, stress, anxiety, and depression. And to elaborate on more types of risk at hand, it can also lead to exposure of bullying, toxic comparison, information, and so much more. So as the risks and benefits become known, it is also important to note as the generations start using media during critical development periods, it is also key to be aware of impulsive behavior and emotions as it all comes into play, especially within the media. After discussing these 3 points, benefits, influence, and how the media works, with you all today, will you be able to benefit from what was pointed out? What I said was, through these topics I mentioned, those who take an effort to present themselves and their styles of living have more of an influence on how society takes course in their life. Not only that, but how it can affect way more than just common tasks, but also our cognitive takes on politics, basic thoughts, attitudes, and way more. Along with how these online influences can potentially be beneficial and not, those who take a deep dive into understanding of what is said in articles, videos, and other various platforms with how the algorithm works, it is always important to stay aware of the media presence, since it can affect anyone and everyone.